Hey everybody, welcome to the Dex, where we give you strategy and trivia for a different Pokemon each week. I'm Elder Alex. Kelz?
Oh no, I fell asleep.
Are you meditating?
Well, I was trying to, now I gotta cut my eyelids off.
What?
Hey everybody, it's Darmanitan!
What?
Darmanitan's such a well-designed Pokemon, you guys. He's an ape-like creature from Gen 5 who's loosely based off of an orangutan.
Yep. His Pokedex entries mention that his body burns at 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit and that he can destroy a dump truck with one punch. Why did they choose a dump truck?
Probably because of all that crazy knowledge we're about to dump all over you.
That doesn't make sense, and also it sounds gross.
But there's so much knowledge, we gotta dump it on the people!
Please stop it.
Some Darmanitan have the hidden ability Zen Mode. When a Darmanitan with Zen Mode loses half of its HP, it transforms into a dual-type fire psychic statue. That's right, Darmanitan practices Zen Buddhism.
Zen Buddhists focus on achieving enlightenment and higher consciousness through meditation and reflection. It's a very inward experience, which is why Darmanitan is covering his ears and closing his mouth in his statue form.
So cool! More specifically, the statue form is based off of Daruma dolls. They're Buddhist symbols of perseverance and luck.
When you get a Daruma doll, you're supposed to think of a goal and draw a pupil on one of its eyes. Then, when you achieve the goal, you draw on the other eye.
Neat! It brings a whole new meaning to keep your eyes on the prize.
Oh yeah, speaking of eyes, why in the hell did you say you were going to cut your eyelids off earlier?
Easy. It all has to do with this week's ridiculous segment.
Is it why on earth I would ever cut my eyelids off?
No, weirdo, it's Pokemon! Did you know that Daruma dolls are based off of a real person? He was a Buddhist monk named Dharma, and he's often referred to as the father of Zen Buddhism.
Oh, so that's where Darmanitan's design comes from. He's like a little angry man with big eyes and a red cloak.
That's right. The legend goes that one time Dharma decided to meditate in a cave for 9 years, facing a wall the whole time.
He sat in a cave for 9 years without moving or doing anything? That sounds totally boring. I'd be asleep after 9 hours.
Right? Well, after 7 years, that's exactly what happened. When he woke up, he was so angry that he cut his eyelids off to make sure he'd never fall asleep again. That's why Daruma dolls have such big eyes.
Now I remember, isn't it supposed to be that his eyelids fell into the dirt and blossomed into the first tea plants so he could have the energy to meditate harder?
Precisely. Also, his legs atrophied and fell off, which is why Daruma dolls have no legs and why Darmanitans are so tiny. Plus, the dolls are weighted so that they always stand back up if they fall over. It's an analogy for letting nothing keep you down.
After a year, Daruma dolls are supposed to be taken back to the temple that they came from and burned. It explains Darmanitan's fire typing and ensures that Dharma's legacy will keep you setting new goals for yourself year after year.
Wow, so much Balaji, very Japan, much Zen, wow.
Isn't that nuts? Game Freak really nailed his design.
GG, GF, GG.
What was that?
I don't know, some kind of reference.
Whatever, let's do some Gen 5 backstrats.
A game theory, thanks for...
Zen Mode boosts Darmanitan's defense and special attack when he dips below 50% HP, but it's way too risky to run this ability competitively, so instead, use Darmanitan as a fearsome UU sweeper with his more common ability, Sheer Force.
Sheer Force increases the power of moves with a secondary effect while simultaneously negating the effect. Take full advantage with an adamant Darmanitan EV trained in attack and speed.
This also means that Life Orb recoil is negated, which means even more power with no downside. Flare Blitz is this set's main stab move, and it deals crazy damage.
Unfortunately, the recoil from Flare Blitz is a primary effect, so it still happens. It leaves Darmanitan pretty vulnerable sometimes, so make sure to include U-turn to help him switch out when he needs to.
Round yourself out with Rock Slide and Superpower for type coverage, and you're all set to go.
Of course, that's not the only way to train a Darmanitan, so as always, here are a few random thoughts.
Swap out the Life Orb for a Choice Scarf to become a serious revenge killer. Hi-ya!
Replacing Superpower with Yawn is a clever way of crippling counters when you can predict a switch. Be sneaky.
Surprising no one, Earthquake is another great move for Darmanitan. It's very powerful and covers a wide range of types.
And that's it, Darmanitan. He's so much more than a fire monkey.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe, and if you want to suggest a Pokemon for next time, leave it in the comments below. I'm Elder Alex.
And I'm PokeKellz. Tune in next week for the last ever Gen 5 episode of The Dex!
Surprising no one, Earthquake is another great move for Darmanitan. It's very powerful and coupling the show.
Did you know that Daruma dolls? Did you know that Daruma dolls are based off of something real?
Want to buy some death sticks?